Offline swiping. The coach's name was Victor. 47, divorced once, never again. He didn't have a podcast, didn't sell courses, didn't post shirtless gym selfies. He just showed up every Thursday night at the same dive bar in Miami with a whiskey neat and a quiet table in the corner. And if you were a guy who'd been chewed up by dating apps one too many times, eventually somebody pointed you toward him. Victor called the tactic offline swiping. Not swiping right or left, he'd say, tapping the table with 2 fingers. You're swiping the whole damn world past you and waiting to see who stops walking. The instructions were stupidly simple. Go where people are. Bar, bookstore, coffee shop, park bench, airport lounge, didn't matter. Look like you're perfectly happy alone. Phone out, headphones half in, reading something, watching something, whatever. Just look occupied in content. Do nothing, 0 approaches, 0 eye contact patrols, 0 hey, couldn't help but notice you. When not if a woman goes even slightly out of her way to get your attention, let her. She'll ask you for the time even though her phone is in her hand. She'll ask if the seat next to you is taken even though half the place is empty. She'll comment on the book you're pretending to read. Whatever it is, she's swinging the door open. Your job is to let her walk through it. At first, be polite but low energy. Answer, smile, then go back to your screen. Make her cross the room again, figuratively, to keep the conversation alive. Only when she's clearly investing, asking you questions, laughing too hard, angling her body, touching her hair like it's a nervous habit. Do you slowly put the phone down, take the AirPods out, and give her your full attention like she just earned it? Then shut up and let her sell you on herself. That's it, Victor would say, finishing his whiskey. You're not hunting, you're fishing with no bait. The fish that bites is already hungry for you. The first guy who tried it religiously was Diego, 29, software engineer, baby-faced, decent body but 0 confidence on apps. He'd spent 2 years crafting the perfect 6-photo carousel, and witty prompts only to get ghosted by girls he had to chase for weeks. First Thursday he posted up at a rooftop bar in Brickhill, phone out, watching highlights from last night's Heat game with 1 AirPod in. 10 minutes in, a brunette in a red dress walked past him twice, then accidentally dropped her napkin right by his foot. He picked it up, handed it back, smiled, went back to his phone. She stood there. You're just gonna ignore me after playing hero, she asked, teasing. Diego glanced up, half-smirked. Thought you were good, you've got legs. She laughed louder than necessary and sat down uninvited. Her name was Valeria, model, literally. Did swimsuit campaigns in the Bahamas. The kind of woman Diego would have been terrified to approach and would have been left on read if he had. She talked for 20 straight minutes while he nodded, asked short questions, sipped his drink. By the time he finally put his phone face down and said, "All right, you've got my attention. What's your deal?" She was already leaning in, playing with the straw in her drink, asking what he was doing later, laughing at everything he said. 3 hours later she was asking for his number and texting him before he'd even left the bar. "Don't you dare ghost me. I saw you first." He dated her for 5 months. She paid for half the dinners without hesitation, bragged about him to her friends, sent him selfies from shoots asking which bikini he liked best. When they broke up, it was because she moved to LA for work, not because she lost interest. She still texts him every time she's in Miami. After Diego told the story, half the guys in the bar started trying it. Carlos, the gym rat who could never get past date 2, sat in a Coral Gables coffee shop reading a paperback, actually reading it, when a petite blonde with green eyes asked if he knew whether the Cortadito was any good. 10 minutes later, she was telling him about law school and asking if he'd ever modeled because you kind of have the face for it. She asked him out before he finished his coffee. Javier, quiet accountant, got hit on by a Venezuelan flight attendant at the airport who needed help finding her gate even though it was clearly marked. She missed her flight on purpose talking to him. They're married now. The pattern was insane. The women who approached were almost always hotter than the ones these guys used to chase. They were more feminine, more eager, more respectful. They laughed at weak jokes. They offered to split bills or straight up paid. They texted first, planned dates, introduced the guys to their friends fast. They auditioned. Because they'd made the first move, they had skin in the game. They didn't want to lose the guy they'd chosen. Victor just watched it happen every week and shrugged when the guys came back wide-eyed. You spent your whole life chasing girls who didn't want you and wondering why they treated you like an ATM with a penis, he said. Now you're letting the ones who already want you do the chasing. Turns out when a woman picks you, she values you. Crazy how that works. One night a skeptic at the bar laughed and said, "So what, we just sit there like losers waiting for women to talk to us?" Victor didn't even look up from his whiskey. Son, the loser is the guy spending 3 hours a night swiping on girls who wouldn't cross the street to spit on him if he was on fire. I'll take my chair and my phone and my 10 minutes of patience. The girl who walks over already decided I'm worth the risk. That's not being a loser. That's being the prize. He raised his glass. To offline swiping. May your battery die before your standards do. Every guy at the table drank to that. And somewhere in the city, another phone screen went dark, another pair of AirPods went in, and another man sat back to see who was brave enough to choose him first. Turns out plenty were.